And last one for Dricus. Every opponent Khamzat's faced, he's taken them down in under 1 minute. Do you want to be the first person to break this streak?
Is the question that I don't want to get taken down the first minute? Well, I mean, I'm going to try and stop every single takedown attempt, I can promise you that. If I get taken down in the first minute, I don't care, I'll get back up.
Question for Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat, at media yesterday, Dricus said he's very interested to see how you react to your first loss, and you are never going to get the belt in this division while he is here. What is your reaction to that, and how do you think he is going to react if you win this fight?
Oh, just gonna go f him up.
You know, it's been almost a decade since we wanted.
Let's go, guys!
They walked in like weather fronts colliding, and the air changed before the first question finished. The crowd didn't wait to pick sides. Boos rolled in waves, pockets of cheers pushed back, and that nervous ripple spread when people realized this might actually go off the rails. Dricus du Plessis didn't flinch. He looked around like a man who's heard this soundtrack before and answered the opener with the thesis of his run. It isn't only talent or toughness, it's both, fused together. He wants the best, fights the best, and plans to stay the best. Even as the noise tried to drown him, he smiled and warned the room they would tire, long before he did. Khamzat Chimaev replied in his own language, short, certain, uncompromising. He didn't debate credentials or play compare and contrast. He declared an outcome. It's his time, he's taking over, and everyone knows it. Ask whether his wrestling is as good as Dricus's, and he doesn't reach for statistics. He talks inevitability. The way he said it felt heavier than hype, less playful, and more final, like a man who has already folded the map and only needs the straightest road to the finish. For a moment, the press room seemed smaller, like the walls leaned in to hear him say it again. Questions started darting across the stage. One reporter went straight to the nervous number. Can Dricus break Khamzat's streak of first-minute takedowns? It is the pattern. Every opponent circles in red. Khamzat loves to shoot early, chain attempts, and make the opening 60 seconds feel like falling down a set of stairs. Dricus didn't promise magic. He said he will fight every entry, and if he's planted, he will stand and reset until the momentum changes. That answer landed harder than a boast. Fighters who claim they cannot be grounded sound brave until reality checks them. Another angle probed the stare before the opening horn. Dricus has admitted those few seconds. The referee's glance, the word ready, the cold stillness, are frightening, and he turns that honesty into focus. Khamzat had no interest in poetry. Long question, short reply. He is ready, he is working, and the takeover continues. He kept returning to the same cadence, as direct as a double leg. It wasn't polished, and it didn't need polish. The message was a drumbeat, not a speech, and the beat never slowed. The audience tried to tilt the mood with volume. Boos hit, faded, then surged again. Dricus began calling the pattern out loud, warning them they would run out of steam, then grinning when they did. It was part trolling, part tempo control, and exactly the kind of small psychological win that matters on fight week. Across the stage, Khamzat didn't chase applause lines or lean into comedy. He kept hammering the same theme. He is ready, it is his time, and he isn't here to negotiate pace. Motivation became the sharpest contrast. Recent comments paint Khamzat as someone who cares more about the fight itself than the belt, that the rush and the check are enough. Dricus didn't say that outlook was wrong. He reframed it. If money is the driver, great. Enjoy the deposit. His driver is legacy. The belt isn't decoration, it is the receipt. Different engines on the same racetrack often lead to different destinations. He spelled out his only acceptable ending. He walks out with the title still strapped around his waist. There was a lighter exchange about jokes. Khamzat likes to throw one-liners online and shift a narrative with a grin. Dricus admitted that game isn't his strength. He answered quickly and let quiet do the work. It looked small, but it said a lot. He isn't trying to win the internet. He is trying to win Saturday. Anytime the questions drifted into side stories, he hauled them back to the central plot. A challenger is coming to take what he earned, and his job is to send that challenger home empty-handed. Beneath every answer hung the same cloud, wrestling. Everyone knows what Khamzat does best, and when he likes to do it. The early shot creates chaos. The fence becomes a trap. Top pressure turns seconds into syrup. Dricus treated it like weather instead of prophecy. You don't deny rain by pretending the sky is clear. You prepare for the storm. Rumors suggest his camp drilled first-minute survival until it became reflex, pummeling for underhooks, wall-walking to knees, hip-escaping the instant space appears. Maybe that's true, maybe it's noise, but the subtext was simple. Expect the storm and spend as little energy as possible surviving it. Khamzat's aura has always been speed. Fast entries, fast turns, fast finishes. He compresses a fight into tiny windows and makes opponents live inside them. Dricus is built differently. He expands time. He adds layers, pressure, stubborn footwork, inconvenient timing, until the other side bends a little, then a lot. That contrast is the entire equation, and the press conference felt like a scouting report disguised as theater. One man promised inevitability. The other promised resistance that does not wear out. The answer lives where those promises collide. Noise even swallowed a long answer at one point, and nobody could hear a word. Dricus called it out, half joking and half needling, and the room laughed without liking him anymore. That is what composure looks like at scale. He kept returning the conversation to defense of the belt, treating each question like a move back to center. Khamzat kept boomeranging to the same phrase, "It is his time." The repetition wasn't laziness, it was emphasis. Still, the blatant statistic sits in the middle of the table. Khamzat taking opponents down inside 1 minute isn't hype. It is a pattern with teeth. Dricus met that pattern without ego. Maybe it happens. If it does, he will get up. And if getting up becomes the theme, those early minutes turn into an investment that pays out later. Energy is a currency. Spend it recklessly and the bill arrives in round 4. Not everything felt heavy. There were stray one-liners, awkward pauses, even a sharp aside that pulled eyes to the front row. But any time the temperature spiked, both men slid back to familiar lanes. Dricus kept the belt in the center of the frame. Khamzat kept the word takeover stamped across every sentence. If you walked in, leaning toward one man, you probably left leaning harder. That is the mark of two convictions colliding without either one cracking. People will debate the mental edge. If Khamzat truly doesn't care about belts, does that free him from pressure or leave him drifting when Plan A stalls? If Dricus leans on legacy, does that make him disciplined or rigid when the script gets ripped up? No one answered those questions out loud, but the subtext hummed. Make the fight long, make it layered, and the reasons you are there start to matter. Maybe money fuels a sprint and legacy fuels a climb. Maybe that is just a story fans tell. Saturday will pick a side. The clearest picture at the end was two fighters refusing to be talked out of themselves. Dricus believes in slow destruction, deny comfort, build pressure, and profit from mistakes. Khamzat believes in immediate certainty, erase space, enforce chaos, and accept nothing but position. The crowd tried on both futures in real time, booing, cheering, and then falling quiet, as if testing how each ending might feel. The boos became background music. The grins and stares did the talking, and neither man blinked. So everything narrows to that familiar breath before contact. The referee checks both corners. The lights feel colder. Dricus has already said that breath is scary, and he treats that fear like a lens that sharpens the world. Khamzat hears it like a starter pistol. Between those two instincts lives the mystery that made this presser electric. Control versus chaos. Marathon versus sprint. Legacy versus takeover. What remains is the first minute and the last word. If the fast start works and Khamzat blitzes clean, the title conversation might never matter. He will flip position, grind, and close before anyone catches a rhythm. If Dricus survives those surges, if he stands after the scramble, if he denies the second chain and the third, then the fight becomes a different sport. That is when crowd noise turns from fuel into fog, when lungs get loud, and when motivation stops being a slogan and starts being oxygen. The press conference didn't reveal who owns that territory. It simply showed how badly both men plan to claim it. Either way, the stage is set, the noise is loaded, and the stakes feel heavier than the microphones could carry today. 2 men, 2 convictions, 1 cage. When the door locks, speculation turns into math, and math turns into damage. On Saturday night, we finally learn whose truth endures for real.